Imagine a single moment of kindness that doesn't just save a stranger's dignity, it rewrites your entire future. What if standing up for the vulnerable meant a billionaire knocking on your door, ready to change your life forever? This isn't just a story, it's a reminder that true heroism isn't about capes or superpowers, it's about the quiet courage that echoes through generations. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll see why one boy's choice in a small-town diner sparked a chain of miracles that still makes my heart race. In the fading glow of a September sun, River Falls hummed with the unassuming rhythm of small-town life, kids on bikes weaving through leaf-strewn streets, the distant chime of the ice cream truck, and the faint scent of apple cider from the corner market. Liam Thompson, a lanky 16-year-old with tousled brown hair and eyes that carried too much worry for his age, trudged home from school, his backpack sagging like the burdens it held. School was out, but Liam's day never really ended. As the oldest of three in a single-parent home, he was the unofficial second parent, the one who fixed leaky faucets at midnight and rationed groceries to stretch his mom's hospital nurse paycheck. Samantha Thompson was a warrior in scrubs, her hands steady during surgeries but trembling when she sorted bills at the kitchen table. "We're okay, kiddo," she'd say with a forced smile, but Liam saw the shadows under her eyes, the way she skipped meals to ensure he and his little sisters, Emma and Sophie, didn't. That afternoon, Liam's mind was a storm of teenage chaos mixed with adult fears. The science fair loomed in 2 weeks, a project on sustainable energy that he and his best friend Charlie had poured their souls into. Charlie, the class clown with a knack for gadgets, had been buzzing about it for months. "Dude, this could get us scholarships, college scouts, everything," he'd say, his enthusiasm infectious. Liam had scrimped every penny from odd jobs, mowing lawns, walking dogs, to buy the solar panels and wiring they needed. $24.50, tucked safely in his wallet, represented not just materials but hope, a ticket out of the cycle of scraping by. But as Liam rounded the corner onto Main Street, that hope shattered like glass underfoot. Raised voices pierced the air from Jason's diner, the heart of River Falls where locals gathered for greasy spoons and gossip. A small crowd had formed at the entrance, murmuring like a hive disturbed. Liam slowed, curiosity overriding his exhaustion. In the center stood George and Martha Hargrove, the town's quiet elders, their faces etched with the deep lines of a life well lived but lately unkind. George, once a sturdy factory worker whose calloused hands had built half the town's porches, now shuffled with the frailty of 80 winters. Martha, his wife of 60 years, clung to his arm, her silver hair pinned back neatly despite the threadbare shawl draped over her shoulders. They weren't beggars or burdens, they were fixtures, the couple who waved at every parade and shared garden tomatoes with neighbors. But today, humiliation painted their features raw. Jason, the diner owner, a barrel-chested man with a mustache like a broom bristle and a temper as hot as his fry oil, loomed over them, his meaty fists planted on his hips. "I told you twice already. No pay, no plate. This ain't the Salvation Army." His voice boomed, drawing more eyes, more whispers. George fumbled in his pockets, his arthritic fingers betraying him as coins scattered like fleeing mice. "We had it, Jason, swear on my life. Must have slipped out on the walk here." Martha's voice, soft as faded lace, pleaded, "Please, just a moment. We're good for it." But Jason's sneer cut deeper than any knife. "Good for it? That's what every deadbeat says. Get out before I call the sheriff. Folks are watching, don't make a scene." The crowd shifted uncomfortably, old Mr. Wilkins pretending to check his watch, the Baker twins giggling behind hands, but no one moved. No one ever did in River Falls, where "minding your business" was gospel, and kindness was rationed like sugar in wartime. Liam's stomach twisted, a hot coil of anger and empathy. He'd seen his mom swallow pride at the pharmacy counter when Medicaid fell short, felt the sting of averted eyes. This wasn't right. It wasn't human. Without a breath of hesitation, Liam stepped forward, his sneakers scuffing the gravel like a declaration. "Hey! That's enough." Jason whirled, his scowl landing on the scrawny teen like a thunderclap. "Beat it, kid. This don't concern you." Liam's heart hammered, palms slick, but he held his ground, voice cracking only slightly. "It concerns everyone. They're not thieves, they're neighbors. How much for the bill?" The crowd hushed, a ripple of surprise. Jason blinked, thrown. $24.50. "But you ain't." Liam didn't wait. He yanked out his wallet, the one with the duct-taped seam, and peeled off every bill, the crisp 20s from dog-walking folding into Jason's reluctant palm. It was everything, the project, the dreams, the fragile buffer against his family's fraying edges. George's watery eyes met his, Martha's hand fluttering to her chest. "Son, you didn't have to." Liam forced a grin, throat tight. "Yeah, I did. Eat up. It's on me." As the couple retreated inside with grateful nods, the crowd dispersed with awkward claps on Liam's back. "Good on ya, boy," someone muttered. But walking away, the weight settled heavier. Charlie would kill him. Mom would worry. And deep down, Liam wondered if heroism was just another word for foolhardy. Little did he know, across town, a phone rang in a mahogany-paneled office, and a voice as steady as oak said, "Tell me about the boy again. The one who paid without blinking." The fallout hit like autumn rain, slow at first, then relentless. By dinner, Liam's kitchen felt smaller, the fluorescent bulb buzzing like judgment. Samantha arrived home late, her scrubs rumpled, carrying the scent of antiseptic and exhaustion. She paused at the sight of Liam hunched over homework, his pencil idle. "Rough day, champ." He spilled it all, the diner, the money, the fire in his chest that drowned out reason. Samantha's face softened, pride flickering through the fatigue. She pulled him into a hug that smelled of hospital coffee, her voice a whisper against his hair. "I'm so proud, Liam. Not every kid's got that heart. But, that was your project fund. We can scrape together more, I promise. Maybe I pick up an extra shift." Her words were brave, but Liam heard the unspoken, "We can't afford extra shifts." Emma and Sophie, oblivious in their crayon chaos, chattered about school plays, but Liam lay awake that night, staring at water stains on the ceiling like maps to nowhere. What if Charlie bailed? What if the fair flopped, and with it, any shot at a better life? School the next day was a minefield. Charlie cornered him by the lockers, his usual grin twisted into a scowl, backpack slung low like armor. "Dude, what the hell? I texted you 10 times. That money was ours, solar cells, batteries, the works. Now we're stuck with cardboard and hope." Liam braced, explaining in stumbles, the couple's shame, Jason's cruelty, the impulse that felt like breathing. Charlie paced, sneakers squeaking. "I get it, man, kinda. But we had a plan. Weeks of late nights, and poof, gone for some rando's burgers. You're the smart one, Liam. Act like it." The words landed like slaps, each one widening the crack in their friendship. By lunch, Charlie sat with the robotics club, laughing too loud, and Liam ate alone under the bleachers, the sandwich tasting like regret. He'd saved strangers but lost his anchor. Worse was Lily. Sweet, sharp-witted Lily Ramirez, with her cascade of dark curls and laugh that turned hallways into summer. They'd been orbiting closer lately, study sessions bleeding into walks home, her hand brushing his once, electric. Liam had rehearsed asking her to the fair a dozen times, heart somersaulting. But when he confessed over vending machine sodas, her brown eyes clouded. "Wait, you blew your savings on that?" "Liam, that's sweet, I guess, but reckless. What about us? The fair? Your mom? You can't save the world if you're drowning." She softened, touching his arm, but the pity stung worse than anger. "Think about you for once. Heroes burn out." She walked away, leaving him adrift in the hallway's echo. By week's end, Liam was a ghost, classes blurring, home a silent strain. He avoided the diner, skipped the park, buried himself in borrowed library books on energy hacks, cobbling a half-baked project from scraps. But doubt gnawed, was kindness just selfishness in disguise, a bid for fleeting praise? He didn't know George and Martha beyond that moment. Did they even care, or was he just another fool chasing echoes? Yet in the quiet hours, flickers of resolve stirred. A note slipped under his door one evening, scrawled in shaky cursive, "Dear Liam, words fail for what you gave us. Not just dollars, dignity. Come to the park Saturday. We'd cherish your company. George and Martha." It was a lifeline, small but real. Liam folded it into his wallet, beside the empty money clip, and whispered to the dark, "Maybe it's enough." Saturday dawned crisp, leaves pirouetting like confetti as Liam wandered into River Falls Park. The lake mirrored the sky's reluctant blue, benches worn smooth by stories untold. He sought solitude, but fate had other plans. There, by the water's edge, were George and Martha, hunched over bulging trash bags, sorting cans and bottles with the meticulous care of archaeologists. George's hands, veined like river maps, trembled as he tallied recyclables. Martha's back bent under decades, but her smile, when it came, lit the gloom. They weren't panhandlers, they were survivors, the invisible threads fraying in America's underbelly. Factory closure had stripped George's pension years ago, medical bills devoured the rest. "We make do," Martha would say, but Liam saw the toll in their hollow cheeks, the way they rationed warmth from a single thermos. He almost turned back, his own wounds still raw, the risk of more entanglement a shadow. But their quiet labor pulled him like gravity. "Mr. George? Mrs. Martha?" They startled, then beamed, Martha rising with a creak to envelop him in a hug that smelled of lavender soap and hard-won resilience. "Liam. Our guardian angel." They sat on the bench, bags rustling like secrets, and for the first time, Liam listened, not as savior, but as witness. George spun yarns of youth, hitchhiking cross-country in a '57 Chevy, Martha's laughter echoing under starlit bridges. "We danced in diners fancier than Jason's, kid, waltzed till dawn." But the light dimmed as he spoke of the shutdown, the evictions, the slow erosion of pride. "Folks forget us old-timers. We're ghosts in our own town." Martha nodded, eyes distant. "But you saw us, Liam. That bill?" It was supper, sure, but mostly, it was being human again. Tears pricked Liam's eyes, unbidden. He'd given from scarcity, but their gratitude was abundance, a mirror showing his heart's truest shape. They shared apples from a pilfered orchard, tart and sweet, and Liam confessed his unraveling, the fight with Charlie, Lily's distance, the project's peril. Was it stupid? Playing hero when my own world's cracking? George clasped his shoulder, grip firm despite the frailty. Stupid? Nah. Rare. Most folks walk by, heads down. You lifted us when the world pressed hard. Martha leaned in, voice conspiratorial. "We told a friend about you. Old pal from the factory days, Elias O'Connor. He's influential. Heard your story, wants to meet the boy with the spine of steel." Liam laughed it off, nerves jangling. O'Connor. The name rang vague, like a headline half remembered. Tech mogul, philanthropist, the billionaire who'd built empires from code and compassion, funding scholarships for kids with grit. But George pressed a card into his palm, embossed gold, a number that hummed promise. "Tomorrow, noon. His office downtown. Come as you are." As they parted, Martha pressed a crocheted bookmark into his hand, a dove in flight, wings of faded yarn. "For the boy who flies against the wind." Liam walked home lighter, the park's peace seeping in. Charlie texted an apology emoji, Lily waved in the hall. Small men's, but real. That night, he rebuilt the project with duct tape and dreams, whispering to the stars, "What if?" The clock tower chimed noon as Liam approached O'Connor Tower, a glass monolith piercing River Falls' modest skyline like a promise of elsewhere. His jeans were pressed, sneakers polished, but doubt clung like dew. What am I doing here? Some rich guy's whim. The lobby gleamed marble and chrome, security nodding him up to the penthouse. Elias O'Connor waited not behind a desk, but by a window overlooking the town, a silver fox in tailored wool, eyes sharp as a hawk's but warm as heathfire. At 68, he was legend, dropout coder turned tycoon, billions from apps that connected worlds, but quieter fame from his foundation, scouting unsung heroes, kids like Liam, for full-ride futures. George called you the diner knight, Elias said, handshake firm, voice gravel rough from boardrooms. Sit. Tell me your side. Words tumbled, the diner, the money, the fallout, the park's raw truths. Elias listened, not interrupting, his gaze peeling back layers Liam didn't know he had. Integrity like yours. It's rarer than code that doesn't break. George worked for me once, loyal till the end. He saw you, kid, because he knows the cost of standing tall. Tears welled as Elias shared his own scar, orphaned young, scraping in alleys, a stranger's sandwich that fueled his first hackathon win. One act snowballed. Yours could too. He slid papers across, scholarship to MIT, full coverage for Samantha's shifts, a fund for Emma and Sophie's dreams. Not repayment. Investment. In the boy who chose people over plans. Liam's world tilted, Charlie reconciled over pizza, project salvaged with O'Connor's lab access, Lily's texts blooming into a fair date, her apology a bridge rebuilt. Samantha wept joy at the kitchen table, burdens lifting like fog. George and Martha visited, toasting with diner coffee, their recyclables traded for a cottage O'Connor gifted. Months blurred into miracles, Liam's solar model won nationals, Charlie co-inventor, Lily by his side. But the deepest shift was internal, kindness no longer a weight, but wings. And there you have it, the boy who paid a bill and claimed a legacy. But here's the twist that keeps me up at night, what if your next small act is the spark someone needs? In a world quick to scroll past.